Let's look at the view of this team from other teams around the league. Ethan Strauss of The Athletic recently polling about a third of the NBA's executives. One of the topics was the Clippers being better than the Lakers. As one executive put it, quote, "There is a big gap in the likelihood of winning the title, but not sure about the regular season in wins." Brian, do you think there's a big gap between the Clippers and Lakers?
Yes, because I think that the Clippers' depth is spectacular. Now, they have to stay healthy. I was talking to a guy who's been around the NBA for decades. I feel like I'm going to be talking about this exact analogy for the next 8 months. The Lakers can win the title this year, but they have to run the perfect race. They have to get out not too fast, not too slow, no injuries, stay in the pack, save their energy for the end. They can do it, but it's got to be perfect. Their margin for error was narrower. Whereas you look at the Clippers, they still have this core, as you mentioned. Like, when they go to their bench, they go to
the sixth man of the year and the runner-up for sixth man of the year.
That's right. They go to two of the best bench guys in the league. And I just think that even though as an overall roster they don't have terrific continuity, there's segments of this roster and the depth. And even like, we don't even remember Landry Shamet, JaMychal Green. I mean, they are too deep at every position. And I just don't think that the Lakers are there. So I wouldn't, grade the Clippers way ahead in terms of title odds. No. I think the Clippers are a better team.
Well, they are, and start with the fact defensively. Who's gonna score against the Los Angeles Clippers?
I know.
I mean, it's incredible, and the Lakers are going to be a work in progress. That's just the truth. Kawhi Leonard is so much easier to plug in to any lineup than Anthony Davis. You have to learn to work around Anthony Davis, who, by the way, has to at the same time learn to work around a guy named LeBron James. That's a lot more complicated than taking Kawhi Leonard, whose skill set has just proven to be. You just plug him in almost anywhere, and he's going to be fine. He just blends right into what they're doing. And I would say the same thing about Paul George. Whenever you add a big, especially in today's NBA, and that is still what Anthony Davis is a big, you have to learn to play with him. I just don't feel the same way about Kawhi and the Clippers.
I mean, I think the defensive flip of that same thing you're talking about, yes, defensively, who's going to score on the Clippers? Defensively, who are the Lakers using to stop guys on the perimeter? How is this going to work out?
Danny Green's who they signed him for.
God bless Danny Green, but he can't be in 6 places at once. So
he can't play a lot of minutes either. You got to load manage him.
And Kuzma and LeBron, just defensively last year, I'm sorry, they were not acceptable.
Right. So we'll have to see if things change. New era in Los Angeles, but that gap is going to be something. And those two teams will be compared to each other all season. That is not going to go away. Let's talk about JaVale McGee, because he feels he should be the starting center for the Lakers this season. He told Mike Bresnahan of Spectrum Sportsnet, quote, "I started last year, so I wouldn't expect anything less, but it's definitely not up to me. It's up to the coach, but I don't plan on showing him anything other than that I'm the starting center for the LA Lakers." Jackie, do you feel like this is true? They should start JaVale, or hey, Dwight Howard's in the building now?
So this is just such an interesting question to me, because we forget that Dwight Howard is a first ballot Hall of Famer. I'll remind everybody again, we don't know if he's healthy. So let's just start with that. But if Dwight is perfectly healthy and can somehow manage himself and his own expectations, he could be so valuable for this team. I don't know if it's possible anymore. I don't know. He can't get touches. He can't go down to the post and expect the ball. If he can be who I think he can be as an older, valuable veteran, he far and away should start over JaVale McGee. I just don't know if that Dwight Howard still exists.
One of the most amazing things that happened this summer was when Dwight Howard was talking about signing with the Lakers. He talked about getting the support of Laker leadership. Like JaVale McGee.
Yes.
It was like, wait a minute, what did you just say? I mean, I will say this. JaVale has been playing on a minimum contract for 3 or 4 years, 1 year minimums.
Yep.
The Lakers guaranteed him $8 million, and I know we're not talking about the same contract that they gave to LeBron here or anybody else, but they did that because they believe in him. Rob Pelinka absolutely believes in JaVale McGee, and so I think JaVale is right. I think he will start the season as the starter, but he will have to continue to earn that, and ideally, if you are Frank Vogel, you want it to be a difficult decision for you a month in.
Also, I mean, I don't know. Is it really who starts? It's who finishes, right? That's how much it's
but
really
these guys
about.
Care. They always have. They always will.
I know. But the thing about JaVale is, even if he does start and he earns that and he earns finishing, we know that he can't play so many minutes because then he burns out how useful he is. So it's going to be by committee. We know that Anthony Davis doesn't want to play center, but then they have a backlog at the 4. So I think it's going to be very interesting managing all of that. Frank Vogel has his work cut out for him.
Like Frank.
I would hope he doesn't place too much emphasis on who starts, because it's going to be a dance the whole season at that position. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.